Here we can see an exploded view drawing of my speaker design. Exploded view is a schematic drawing technique which is really useful and used very widely. It shows all of the components exploded out so that you can see the order of assembly of all your components. Okay, it's used very widely from when you're patenting new product designs or from instruction manuals, and is perhaps the best way to communicate the full construction and assembly of a product. Here we can see I've gone over my faint pencil lines with a black marker to make sure my design pops from the page. I've labelled each individual component and listed them on the side, saying specifically what they are. Hi guys, we're going to have a go at drawing an exploded view in isometric projection today. You can see I've had a go at drawing quite a simplistic speaker design here in isometric. Okay, I've used a set square to do that. You can see the angles here with my set square line up. If I put this line parallel with the bottom of the page, like so here, you can see that's how I've drawn this speaker at that 30-degree. So this angle here is 30 degrees. Then if I want to draw this line here, I just flip it over. And again, make it parallel with the bottom of the page. And that's how I've got that line. So how do we draw the exploded view? I've started us off here. This is going to be my back cabinet unit for my speaker here. So I might label these three components 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to explode them out to give an indication of how they fit together. So this is my back cabinet unit, which I've used, which I've drawn using the set square in isometric. Now I've done that at this far left of the page because when we're drawing an exploded view, we're going to use quite a lot of the page, and I've had to try and map out how much of the page I'm actually going to want to use so I don't come off the page. Once I've done that, I'm going to draw some guidelines or construction lines, I guess, which are going to help us out. Okay, so I'm going to draw very lightly along the page, making sure this is parallel here, all the way along. And I'm going to do the same here. And these can be rubbed out later if needed. So once we've got a few lines drawn at that 30-degree angle, I can use the ruler if I need, as long as it's parallel with these two lines. Okay, and if you don't have a set square at home, you can have a go with a protractor drawing that 30-degree angle. But as long as my lines are parallel, that's the key thing at the moment. So now I'm going to start to draw in that second component here, which is the front of our speaker, which is going to house the speaker driver. So I can use these guidelines now. Yeah. set square, so I'm going to draw a vertical line, which you'll see will be parallel with these lines here. Let's draw that here. And keep it quite light at the moment still. So I'm going to go vertical down from here first. My diagram here is saying that this front portion of the speaker is 10mm in thickness, or 1 centimetre. So I'm going to measure that on here. Alright. Wherever possible, I would encourage using the ruler over the set square when you're doing your measurements. And again, we can be using the ruler here again because we can use this line here to make sure our lines are parallel. Fill that in a little bit more, make that a little bit darker. Do the same up here. Cool, that's the front portion. So now we're going to have a go at drawing a circle in isometric. So we're gonna have an oval shape, and that's going to be an approximation of what a circle would look like in isometric projection. And this is a little bit more of a difficult task, so I'm going to have a go at trying to give you some aids to help you do this as best as you can. So what we're going to draw is a square, effectively, in isometric, and then we're going to use that as an aid to help us draw this oval shape within it. Okay, so I'm going to draw that on the front of my speaker here. I'm going to mark in where I'm going to have my square, so I'm just going to put it a centimetre above there, a centimetre in here, just marking little dots to help me draw my square, and then I can mark that in. I'm going to draw this square nice and lightly, because we are going to rub it out later on. All the time I'm using these lines to make sure all my lines are parallel. That's crucial when we're drawing an isometric. Okay, let's just measure the bottom of this. It's about 45. 45. So, when we're drawing the circle, the first thing we need to do, we're going to draw it within this square. So I'm going to mark halfway on the sides of my square. So it's 45 in length. So we're going to go 22 and a half. Just going to mark a little dash. Do that on all the sides of my little square. So now this comes to the difficult bit. We're going to try and match up these dots as best we can to draw this oval shape. Okay, and it's not easy this, and there are templates we can use, but this is a good way to be doing it kind of freehand. So I'm going to plant my hand on my page. I'm going to try and pivot round, keeping my hand in contact with the page to make sure this line's as smooth as it could be. So we're going to go and keep it nice and light, and then we can always rub it out if needs be, or go a bit harder once we're happy with the shape of our line. So I'm fairly happy with that. So I'm going to go a little bit harder. Okay. Cool. So this is going to be a hole where our speaker is going to be. I'm going to explode that out further to here. So I'm going to draw the inner rim of this hole here to give it that 3D look. I'll try and follow this line as best I can. Okay, now, so to draw our speaker over here, I'm going to explode that out further again, and I can be using this square that I've already drawn for myself as a guide. So I'm going to come up further. I'm going to draw some more guidelines. Same box, explode it out. Remember, we can be doing this quite lightly. Taking the time here to be as accurate as I can. These construction lines, your drawing's only really going to be as good as your construction lines are. Okay, so this is the basic outline of where my explode drawings are going to go. Later on, I could rub out these construction lines if you want, or we could be making these the real lines of the speaker a lot darker. I could be drawing the front of my speaker here. I'm going to use that same technique, so I'd measure halfway along here, here, and here to draw that oval shape. I could be drawing the inside of the cabinet, so I could show you how to do that quick here to give it a bit more of a realistic look. So I'm going to measure in 1 millimeter in, let's say the thickness of the wood we're using is 1mm perhaps. So I'm going to make sure these lines are as parallel as they can be. No, we're not going to see that way. We're drawing the inside of the cabinet unit here. Okay, so that's the start of a fairly decent exploded drawing of my speaker here with component 1, 2, and that's where I draw that third component there, the speaker driver, using the same technique as I showed you here. Okay, I could then label these 3 components and describe down here what they're made from, what their function is, etc. Okay, thank you for listening.